So I welcome you once again, everyone, to this first session for this beautiful training that has been organized by different parastatals coming together to actually equip us in the knowledge of AI in pedagogy. Having the background that we should know what AI is all about and how it can be applicable in the teaching and learning period, teaching and learning sessions in school, to actually aid and prepare us better and prepare our wards and students better for the global standard that we are actually clamoring for as a country and as a nation, and generally in Africa, so that we don't just remain at that rear end that we have always been. But we trust that with trainings like this coming on board, we can always forge ahead in that perspective. So I'll be taking us through the slides. So we'll be following the slides, and so I will welcome everyone. Before we commence, the first thing we are going to do here is to actually introduce ourselves. So I will have Dr. Adeboye introduce himself, then I will follow suit in that introduction. Dr. Adeboye, good morning, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Adebite. So my name is Daniel Adeboye. I'm an educational technologist and a consultant. I'm also an educator, and I'll be joining Mr. Adebite for the next about 5 weeks to learn together with every one of you as we look through the artificial intelligence, its use in education, how we can teach effectively with education. So I'm happy to be here with all of us. We'll be working together, Mr. Adebite and myself, and every one of us learning together for the next about 5 weeks. Okay, thank you very much. You're welcome.
It's nice to hear from you, Dr. Adeboye. It is worthy to also note that it is a privilege having the like of Dr. Adeboye in our group, as he has been doing this for a long. He has made several impacts when it comes to education and IT in pedagogy generally. So my humble self is Mr. Adebite Ayodeji. I'm a civil servant, a public servant, and an educator, an education specialist in Lagos State. Presently, I'm a special assistant in Lagos State also when it comes to the area of education and ICT, with several impacts in robotics education. Don't worry, as the class go on, the introduction will become better when we begin to use it as samples of what were practical examples of what has been undergone and has been undergoing severally in education in Nigeria and everywhere generally. Also, we have Dr. Kemi, but who am I to introduce Dr. Kemi if not Dr. Adeboye? So, sir, please, the honors of introducing our doctor, I will be leaving that platform to you also, sir, Dr. Adeboye.
Mr. David, why are you doing this? All right. So it's also my honor to introduce Dr. Kemi Oluyola. She is a lecturer at the Olabisi Onabanjo University in Ogun State. She's a global instructor. I've kept being amazed at what she does. Just a few days ago, she was given another award, and she's been invited to join many programs across the world. So she's the one pulling all of this together, together with the SPTech training partners and Google as well. So we are very honored all to be working together with her and every one of us learning together on this platform as far as the AI in pedagogy is concerned. So I believe you will enjoy the training. Let me hand over to you, Mr. Adebite.
Thank you very much, sir, for that beautiful introduction of Dr. Mrs. Kemi. So not to waste our time, I would like to just introduce the meeting ethics so that we actually have a very interactive and engaging session every time we come here to actually learn from each other. So, on the scale of 1 to 5, I just want you to just put numbers also in the chats 1 to 5, how excited are we about this training? I would have loved to share my notes. So let me quickly share for this module, which is the first module in this in the session. I just want to identify. We'll be identifying. Everybody must be able to identify what AI is and what AI is not. After the end of this module, we should be able to identify what AI is, because everybody have different notion about what AI is and what is not. So we'll be able to balance it in this first module. Number two, must be able to differentiate between AI and traditional ICT tools. There's always this mix up that, okay, my laptop is an AI tool. Well, maybe as a module, as we continue in this class, we'll be able to differentiate which and which is not. And thirdly, we should be able to apply ethical considerations of AI in education. So at the end of this module, this first module, we'll be having 2 modules today. This first module, we should be able to actually clearly define these 3 objectives in the course of this class. So I welcome you once again to AI in pedagogy. So I will start the class. AI is a branch of computer science focused on creating systems that can perform tasks typically requiring human intelligence. You know, there are several tasks that requires human intelligence. A lot of things that human naturally does, but we begin to see tools and machines now coming on board to do them. We begin to, maybe you can just begin to put on the charts the different type of things that you have noted that could this be AI? Could this not be AI? So as we begin to, the class will just be very interactive. You know, there is a time when it is just computer doing things. You have to, it is GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Is what you put to the system that it gives you. But I think okay, we have one here, Mr. Chamberlain Kingdom, saying that AI is a science that uses machine to perform tasks that humans basically do. Wow, I love that. We are getting to that. So you see that there are things that humans do. But to some point, you will begin to see that this AI we are talking about might not really have emotions, might not be conscious of what you are going through. So I'm trying to merge what AI is and what AI is not now. AI is not actually something that we begin to see that it begins to depict your emotion. No, it's not getting to that stage yet. So it's not capable of true creativity. Even as an AI user, you are the one that will define the kind of creativity you expect from that tool or from artificial intelligence. So that is why it is an artificial intelligence. It is artificial. It is something that's why the fact that it's actually required to think and reason out like human. We still have several reasons why it is not human yet, which is very, very deliberate, which is what we have to just understand that by with AI, that as much as after this course I will want it to do several things, I just want it to there are some limits to what I should expect from AI. So because of that limitations, I should be the one guiding the creativeness of AI. So we begin to see also that AI, it is very narrow. AI in the present age is very narrow. AI has been in existence since 1950. So, but in this present age, in the 21st century, it has grown to a point that it is narrow. So specifically, the AI, we have different artificial intelligence tools that are being used for different things. Do you want to create PowerPoint? We have an AI tool for that. Do you want to transcribe a voice note? We have an AI tool for that. Do you want to actually bring it down to a class where it actually tailors down your content for specific purpose? There are AI tools that will do that. So it is narrow. AI is narrow in this present time. So AI is also a tool that is used to enhance productivity. A tool that we are using to enhance productivity is also AI. we have different algorithms that is being used to actually enhance this productivity. Just as we begin to ask different questions about what is not or what it is, AI begin to take data from us and begin to use it to provide and procure different solutions for us. So he used algorithms, he used our voice note. You notice that these days now, like a friend of mine was saying, and I was laughing, is it not 2 days ago? He was just talking about shoes, conversation with his friend on the phone. And while he was just going through his Instagram page, he just realized that the algorithm begins to just tell him shoes around. You can buy this shoe here, you can buy this shoe. I know some of us might have seen that also. You will just realize that we're just searching for something on Google. And in every of the other platforms also, you begin to see that these are the works of AI. So what AI is not conscious, is not capable of true creativity. It's a tool that augments human capabilities. So how smart you are is how smart AI can be. So let's go to the next. So what are the things we can use AI for problem solving? I've actually mentioned some of these things. It's used for problem solving. You can use it to reason out things. It has the capacity to analyze information and make logical decisions. And in my capacity here, I use it at times to just analyze when I'm giving a project. I'll just put it at times when I have projects for teachers. I'll just encourage teachers, okay, look into it, use this tool, and let's see what. So it brings different suggestions, logical decisions. But I realize that those logical decisions are actually based on how smart the teachers are. So AI, one of the characteristics, is used for learning. It brings perceptions. For example, you are a teacher in an inclusive school, and you just want, okay, I want you to teach, for example, physics. I want you to teach work energy for a class of GSS 3 students. It will actually give you a lesson note that will be tailored to that. Your perception, the instructions you give to it. I want to give to an SS2 student, and I want you to give to an inclusive students with hearing disability. You see that the instructions you have given to this tool, the results you'll be getting from it will be very different because of your perception. It has a natural language understanding also. NLP is what we see everywhere now, but we don't know what NLP is. If you are using a Samsung phone or an iPhone, any of these smartphones now, you see that you can just swipe through your keyboards and it will give you exactly a word is you are expecting. Maybe you swipe through your keyboard and just give you plus. It's because maybe you have moved you swipe from P, your hand touched L, your hand touched U, and your hand stopped at S. And just like to just guess that you want to type plus. So at times you have typed something on your Google, and when you are getting there, you just need to type the first letter, and it will guess exactly the site is thinking you want to actually access. So it's like thinking for human in their thoughts, in everything they are doing. But remember the word I'm carefully using. I've been using guess. But while the session is going, we'll be able to understand what guess is all about. So there are several misconceptions about AI, which is why some people are still very reluctant about using or about accepting artificial intelligence. One, AI lacks consciousness and emotion. I said that in the first AI lacks consciousness and emotion. They think that it's going to replace a lot of job opportunities. No, it's only those that will not actually align to the opportunities that AI is bringing, that is not smart enough now to actually take a hold on AI now, that people that are smart enough to take it up now will begin to replace. AI can be biased and make errors. Is a misconception. Every error AI makes is determinant on the smartness of this person, how smart this person that is using it can be. And AI mimics human cognition but lacks full understanding. No, AI actually has a better understanding than human because it collects data beyond your scope. Now, imagine we have been using Google and Google answer every of your questions at least to a 70% perfection. Now imagine if AI has collated every data from Google, every data from Bing, every data from every of these platforms that we have been using on our normal ICT tools, and is using it to give you information. So it's giving you a widespread information on a global stage. So aside from the fact that it just mimics human cognition, it guesses human cognition, it takes you, but it has a full understanding of whatever you have to say. AI now speaks in Yoruba. You need to go and see Grok on X. Grok speaks Pidgin. Grok speak. Those are chatbots. They begin to speak a lot of things that we are seeing now. So AI is this training is just to bring teachers into that phase where we begin to use AI in our classroom, in our pedagogy, to enhance teaching and learning. So we have a brief history of AI. Like I said, AI has been in existence since 1950. The field of computer science that seek intelligence machine that can replace human and exceed human intelligence. These are the stages where there's an Asian Greek myths, the story of Talos. If you have been watching movies, all these scientific movie, you have seen Talos trying to provide something that will actually precedes human intelligence and will begin to be, and I will be able to actually guess what human will become in few years, so that they can actually build in respect to that. So in the Middle Ages of Renaissance, inventors like Leonardo da Vinci designed mechanical robots and it automates them. Look at these robots then. They are more like very robotic. You see them in cube, in squares. You know, these are the times when AI has been existent, so that AI can begin. AI then was given to robots to actually perform some specific tasks that human can do, like as simple as, even we are seeing the advanced levels now, where you can just order food in China from a particular point, and it's not human that will come and deliver for you. You just see something just come to your door and deliver at your doorstep. He has understanding of the path is going to follow, the road is going to follow, using combination of different things. You know how awesome is that? Imagine you are not keen into these things we are saying. In a very short time, you will just go of extinction, which is what the organizers are trying to avoid. In 1959, we come into machine learning, where it's a subset of AI that enables machines to learn from existing data. So at this point, AI are advanced to start getting data from things that have already been in existence in our ICT tools. So there are a lot of data that are going into sciences, into mathematics, and they begin to collocate these data, and machine begin to learn. It's at this point that machine begins to learn. The first stage was an intelligence was given to machine. But at this point, it begins to learn. It begins to see machine learning, and we have deep learning, where machines now need techniques. There are neural networks that are used to process data. So aside from the information he has gathered from human, he is very intelligent enough himself now to actually connect 2, 3, 4, 5 dots, million dots together to give you a processed information. But now we have generative AI, which is the likes of NLP, that generates your content for you, that give you auditory content. You know, generative AI is now, you see videos now where people can just generate videos with AI. In Lagos State now, there's a movie that is coming up now that AI was used to generate that movie, a 30-45 minutes movie. That's AI. All they needed was just to load the content. NLP, just give the question, just give it a perspective of what you are expecting, and it gives you a lowdown of what it generates. It. We have graphics, we have PowerPoint presentations that AI can actually generate for us now. In the course of these sessions, we'll be telling you a lot of these tools that we begin to use within and without the walls of classroom that will make us exceptional teachers in the world globally. So how AI systems are trained, I've actually mentioned some of these things, and they are tested. Over the years, data collection and preparation have been the models that have been used. A vast amount of data. I told you how these data were gathered. I know some of us, we have actually accessed our Google this morning. Some of us, we have actually read news this morning. and you begin to wonder that even when you just open your Google, there are a set of news that Google now brings to you without you asking for questions. Because over time, Google or Chrome as real Chrome or what was it called? This other, maybe you are using Mozilla Firefox, they have gathered information that throughout for 2 weeks now, this person have been checking on news. So because of that, the percentage of informations or automatic news that this Mozilla Firefox will be bringing to your notification is on news, Nigerian news. If it's international news, because it has gathered data from what you are checking on your phone. So there is model selection and training. The type of AI models depends on the problem being solved. Training involves feeding the model with data and adjusting its parameters to minimize errors. So we have validation and testing also. After training, models are validated to ensure they generalize well to data, and testing final models or unseen data. And finally, we have deployment and continuous monitoring. Once tested, some AIs are deploying using APIs. That is the level of who we are now. You see that when there is a build of some applications now or some softwares or some of these edtech, and they want to actually tailor it to a particular purpose, there are APIs that will be deployed. There are cloud-based deployment that will be deployed so that the efficiency of that machine, of that application, will actually be tailored for that specific purpose. So everything that machine or that AI will be doing will be for that purpose. For example, a learning management system where you want to use to just manage your administration in school. You want to manage a particular set of instructions in school. You want to use it to mark exams. You want it to generate questions from the exams. It becomes that there are APIs that are dedicated for this kind of machine, so it can be tailored towards this thing. So they are trained and just like human. And before deployment, they are tested. And over time, it has always been a success story over time.
AI foundations for educators. I'm sorry, my slide is not changing, so I'll just go ahead. What are the key differences between the traditional ICT tools and AI tools? I know that some of us are familiar with these tools. We are familiar with traditional tools. We are already used to making use of PowerPoint in the classroom. We are used to making use of slides, making use of Microsoft Excel, making use of technology one way or the other. Maybe some of us have heard of Kahoot, have heard of Plickers, one way or the other in the classroom. But now when it comes to AI, AI has to do with data. So it is data driven, actually. I think I got it now. All right. So it is AI driven. It has to do with training of data and ensuring that we can use the data to make proper decisions. So whereas there are the traditional ICT tools that has to do with rule-based processing, spreadsheets, the traditional spell checkers and things like that, we will still require AI. It's still different from the use of AI because AI has to do with data. Is the training of data, is the use of data to make decisions, to help us to make the right decisions. Now, going on from there, traditional software versus AI-based software. So you will discover that, again, when it comes to learning, traditional software is pre-programmed. There's no continuous learning. It does not learn from any data. It's already programmed right into it. But with AI-based software, it learns from data and improves over time. So data comes in, you pick up the data that has been trained, like we have learned previously, and then AI-based software learns from that data and improves itself over the time. Now, as far as automation is concerned, it has to do, traditional software has to do with rule-based. The logic is fixed. Things are not changing. Again, when we talk about adaptability, things don't change. It's static. If things must change, you will require a manual update. So meaning that you need to update your apps maybe once in 3 months, maybe once in a year, depending on how frequently those apps are updated. You need to update your apps. But when it comes to AI-based software, they automate complex tasks with pattern recognition. Things are dynamic. They work with real-time data. For example, any of these AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini, for example, you can select the deep search or the internet search. So you can ask it, interact with it questions based on current data, even that is available on the internet, even though it has also been trained with data. So we are saying that when it comes to AI-based software, things are changing, things are dynamic. It's not static like the traditional IT software that we are familiar with. Now, when it comes to decision making, we follow predefined rules and conditions in traditional software. There are rules that have been set. There are things that have been provided there. Things don't improve just like that. But with AI, decisions are made based on patterns and predictions, and we are going to be seeing some of them as we go ahead shortly. Now, there are three basic types of AI, and Mr. Adebite already began to speak about that the other time. He began to speak about that. So let's look briefly at these three that we speak about here. Let's just look at these three together. There is the machine learning. There is deep learning, there's natural language processing. What is machine learning? Basically, machines learning from algorithms, learning from data, making decisions based on data. Now, these are not being programmed, these are not explicitly programmed. It's just that based on the data that it has gathered, the AI system learns from it. So, for example, your Netflix or even the simple YouTube video, like Mr. David was sharing the other time. When you have watched certain videos to a point, you just discover that you are able to pick up things. The system learns from it, and over time is able to pick up those things. And you can say, okay, because you have gone this way, we discover that it looks like you are interested in this kind of content, so we can suggest this other kind of content to you. That's machine learning. It's computer learning from data, following your process that you have done. Now, deep learning is also a different kind of artificial intelligence that excels at handling large volume from neural network. So basically, when it comes to deep learning, it learns from images and speech recognition, recognition of speech, a large volume of unstructured data. That's deep learning. So this also has to do with data, but then it's a wider kind of learning than the normal simple machine learning. And natural language processing, Mr. David also spoke about that when he began. This is allowing machines and the systems to relate and understand, interpret human language, so they can relate with you. This is where all our assistants, your Siri, your Alexa, your Google Assistant, all these assistants come from. And even some of these generative chatbots, in which case you can speak to it naturally, it can understand human language, it can interpret it, and it can respond back to you. So these are just the three basic types of AI. While we don't want you to understand we are not basically concerned in this module for you to understand the details of everything. We just want you to know that we are already using these three AI types, and we will just go ahead to show you things that we have already been doing. So let's look at this together. Now, the first one has to do with Spotify music streaming. So I will need you to chat in the chat. What do you think this type of AI is? Let's look through them one after the other. Just put a message in the chat. Spotify. When Spotify recommends music based on your listening habits and analyzes music to create personalized playlists, what kind of AI is that? Is it machine learning? Is it deep learning? Is it natural learning processing? Let me ask you to drop in the chat what you think concerning that. Spotify is machine learning, all right? Anybody else? Spotify, deep learning, okay? Anybody else? Machine learning, machine learning, machine learning,
Learning.
machine learning, okay? Anybody else? All right, machine learning. Maybe I should allow one person. Maybe let's just do this one. One person should unmute and tell us why you think it is machine learning. Yes, Mr. Lucky, can you unmute yourself and tell us why you think
Why I think it
it
is
is?
machine learning is because it is there to work on this. Or as you put in the data inside of it, and the data will be it will be producing the sound for you. That's why I think it's machine learning.
All right.
I don't know
It
if
is
you
machine learning simply because it learns from the data.
the data.
It
Yes,
has
that's what it
it watches your habits over the time. It looks at what you like, the kind
is.
of
Yeah.
genre of music you listen to, the
Yeah.
kind of artists you listen to, and gathers that data over time. And then from there, it now begins to recommend to you. Let's go ahead to number 2, Gmail. Gmail filters spam and prioritizes emails using intelligent algorithms. In the chat box, everybody in the chat box, what type of AI is this? We need to move very fast now. We just want you to know that you're already using AI, and all right, somebody is saying, people are saying machine learning. Gmail machine learning. Gmail is also machine learning because, like we have said, they help to filter spam. They work through intelligent algorithms. What about Snapchat? Applying font filters and effects on faces in real time using facial recognition. Using facial recognition. What do you think? Snapchat. 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 We have gone to Snapchat now. Snapchat. And maybe we should just take the three together. Snapchat, photo sharing, Instagram, photo sharing that suggests relevant hashtags and recommends people for you to follow based on your interest. And then Facebook Messenger, using chatbot for customer service and suggest replies to messages. So just drop in the chat box, Facebook, this type, Instagram, this type, Snapchat, this type. Yes, Snapchat is deep learning. All right, Snapchat, deep learning. What about Instagram and Facebook chat? Instagram is deep learning. All right. Facebook is machine learning. Mr. Abe says Facebook is machine learning. Ms. Joyce, I suspect, said Instagram is deep learning. Instagram, deep learning. Instagram and Facebook are both machine learning. Okay, can somebody just lift his hand and tell us why you think it is what you think it is? Anybody? Who would like to speak? Let me ask Mr. Prince Godwin, your hands are up. Can you tell us what you think it is and why you think it is like that? Okay, Mr. Prince, yes, go ahead.
Yes. What I'm saying is that if it is still the machine that generates the suggestions on Facebook, on Instagram, giving you related data that you previously visited. I think they are all make sense in my own understanding. Thank you.
All right. So let's look at it together because of our time. So you will discover that we discuss Spotify and Gmail. They recommend to you based on the algorithm, based on your usage. It gathers data from you and then gathers live data from you and then gives you recommendations based on what you are doing. But when it comes to Snapchat, for example, Snapchat uses deep learning for facial recognition. It doesn't just collect the current data, it goes down into comparing what your face looks like presently to what it will look like another time, what it has always looked at over the time, and applies intelligent filters and effects. So that has to do with a little more data usage, and like we said, from images and videos, which is more than just the normal machine learning. Now with Instagram, if you look at it, it said suggest relevant hashtags and recommends people to follow based on your interests. So for Instagram, it has to do with your interests. Whatever you have been used to doing, it suggests hashtags based on that. And Facebook Messenger is just learning natural language processing. This has to do with chatbots, talking with your customers, chatting with somebody. This chat is natural learning processing. Please give me, I'm sorry. All right, so I was explaining that when it comes to the Facebook Messenger chat, it uses chatbots, and then it uses natural responses. You can speak with the natural language. You don't need to learn anything big. And the system doesn't really go to analyze any data. It just responds to what you say to it. It goes to pick from its database, and then it responds back to you. Let's go ahead with this. Let's see a few more examples. Now, the swipe keyboard text input. What do you think? Can we put in the chat box? Just pick any of those four. Just put swipe keyboard. This is what it takes. Grammarly, this is what it takes. Netflix, this is what it is. Google Maps, this is what it is. Let's see what you think. So we are looking at swipe keyboard, Grammarly, Netflix, Google Maps in the chat. What do you think? Don't forget that machine learning has to do with learning from data, from predicting what you have been doing. Deep learning has to do with large volumes, learning from large volumes, basically images and videos. Natural learning processing is the natural language that we speak. So what do you think? Netflix, machine learning and deep learning. All right. Swipe keyboard is machine learning. Number 6, natural learning. Okay, that's swipe keyboard. Anybody else? What do you think? Let me get a few more responses as I go ahead. We just want you to know that you have been using these AI tools all the while. You probably just didn't know that's what it is. Mr. saying all of the 4 of them are deep learning. Google Maps, machine learning. Swipe keyboard is natural learning processing. All right. Okay. Because of our time, let's just go ahead and reveal what it is. So as you can see, making use of swipe keyboard is machine learning because it just predicts the next word based on what you are typing. It's gathering the data, it's recommending the next word based on what it thinks you are typing. So a very simple example, you go on Google and you type bread, and then you see a long list of responses ranging from bread and stew to bread and egg, bread and beans, bread and whatever, bread and moi moi, depending on what part and what your favorites are. But you see, what it simply does is that it's learning and predicting your next word based on what you have typed. If you cancel bread and you put rice and it will change the predictions. That's machine learning. It's picking up data from the past based on your own input, based on your own thing, and based on your own suggestion. Grammarly is natural learning processing. It just looks through what you are doing and adjust your writing style and suggest improvements to what you are doing. Netflix, I already spoke about Netflix when we started. This is machine learning, basically. It's learning and suggesting based on the algorithms and recommending movies and TV shows for you. Google Maps is machine learning as well. It provides real-time traffic updates and suggests faster routes to your destination, just for you to know that you'll be making use of all of these things previously before now. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and look at the applications in education. Applications of AI and machine learning in education. These are the different applications that we have. So if we look at the machine learning or natural learning processing aspect, you can hold real world conversations and simulations. So for example, recently I had the chance of using AI tool, the ChatGPT, for the natural voice part of it. I wasn't typing this time, I was discussing. So I wanted to have a conversation with him. So I was asking about phonetics. How does this word sound? So I spelled the word, he responded to me and he said, oh, but I thought it should sound like this. And he said, oh, yes, that's how it should sound, but it's transcribed like this, like this. And this is exactly how he speaks. So for those of us who teach languages or English language or phonics or things like that, these tools are available for us. They are AI tools. They are available for us to hold these real world conversations and simulations. Of course, personalized learning. We now have AI powered tutors. They help you, they teach you. And I've had experiences with this as well. I remember once one of my students brought a sum for me to solve. And rather than solve the question, I asked the child, open ChatGPT, and asked the student to interact with ChatGPT as a tutor. So he said, this is the question. Can you explain the question to me? And ChatGPT explained the question. Then next we now said, all right, can you show me how to solve it? What methods can I use to get these questions solved? ChatGPT, this natural learning processing aspect, explained to them. Then as they went ahead, say, oh, I thought it is this. Would I make a mistake if I go this route? And it responded back. That is AI-powered tutors. And this is available across all subjects, not only in mathematics, in any subject whatsoever it is you are teaching. AI tools can be used to as personalized learning, and definitely for chatbots, for support. So as a school, as an administration, you can design this AI chatbots, provide it with some data, and parents can interact with them. We have these administrative virtual assistants now. They are not really human beings. They are AI bots that have been trained with some data, and depending on the inputs somebody puts into it, it responds to you. The same with speech to text tools. These are all AI tools that are available in education. On the other hand, when it comes to machine learning and deep learning, we now talk about facial recognition engagement and AI proctoring tools. So we see some of these exam tools, for example, when you want to take exams online. In my work with one of the universities, we set up one of these softwares to take examinations online, and it has proctoring tools in it, meaning that a student must sit in front of a laptop to take the exam, and at intervals, the system takes pictures of the face of the student. If the face goes out of the video, it records it that this person stood up. So these are AI tools available for smart classroom. This has to do with deep learning. Of course, automated grading, automatic grading, predictive analysis, content generation. When it now comes to natural learning processing, with generating lesson plan, generating assessments and exams. AI tools are all available. So these are all current and future applications of artificial intelligence in education. All right. Now, going further from here, there's AI bias, and we need to be very careful with using AI because of these four bias. Data bias, obviously. We know that because AI makes use of the data, AI makes use of data that is being used. So if the data is skewed, the response will also be skewed, definitely. I remember that I was going through an article and discovered that every time somebody was sharing the experience with ChatGPT, every time a question is asked, is always biased towards a particular gender. And we discovered that that is because of the data bias that has been fed into it. Of course, there's also labeling bias with inconsistent standards, human prejudices. It responds to you based on the kind of data that it has. There's the algorithm bias, the deployment bias. All of these biases are the kind of things that can affect the AI response. Now, you need to understand this because whenever you are dealing with AI, you need to know that these concerns exist. You need to know that there could be misinformation, there could be privacy violations, there could even be harmful consequences because of this kind of biases that exist within artificial intelligence. Now, let me go ahead to talk about fairness in AI. All of this is just dealing with the AI and ethics. Now, with fairness, we are looking at the issue of having a fair representation. So AI must reflect diverse population in the training data, then the demography as well. So it must represent a fair representation of the diverse populations in AI, and then the demography, the kind of people, the different places they are getting the data from. For example, what you will discover, or what I have discovered in my work with AI over the years, the few years that generative AI became very ubiquitous, is the fact that most of the time when I'm looking for content for Nigeria, where we are, there's not much content there. Most of the data is a representation of the modern world that the data was trained with. So most of the time when I ask it to generate a lesson plan on this, it asks me to go and look for some of these big things, tech things that are not in my own environment. So what I now need to do is to reprompt it and adapt it to fit the environment that I am. And so, okay, if it asks me to get this kind of equipment and I don't have that equipment, what else can I use in my own environment? So just for us to know that there are these things that if we must use AI properly, there must be fairness with it. Equalize also has to do with similar error rates across different groups. Now, ethical considerations and responsible AI implementation. Let me just quickly say for us as educators that we need to look at this from two different perspectives. First of all is to understand that for those who are generating the AI tools, these are the ethical considerations that they must consider while developing the tools. There must be informed consent. Those of us who are using the tools must know what data they are collecting, and we must know how the data is being used. Because, like we said, AI is based on data, there must be this informed consent. And maybe I should just say, even though as we progress in the training sessions, we'll be looking at the different kinds of tools and why some of these tools are safer than the others. The reason is because of the kind of data that they gather, they collect, and you don't know what they are using those data for. So there must be informed consent. You must know what data they are collecting and how they are being used. There's the minimization principle. You only collect as much data as is necessary. Of course, there's an anonymity, which is the fact that data must be anonymous. You must remove all identifiable information to protect the privacy of the people. Now, the second side to this is also the fact that as teachers ourselves, when you are using AI, we must be clear on the kind of data you are using and how you are using it. So if you are uploading student results, you must be very careful with that. If you are uploading full student details, just be aware that every data you upload into these AI systems are being stored up and they are being used to improve their algorithms. So don't use untrusted AI tools. The reason is because whatever data you provide can be a violation of data privacy laws. You must only give to AI as much information as it requires to respond to you properly. Now, these are considerations for us as AI people. Now, as we tidy up together, let's just quickly look at an overview of AI applications across different sectors. I know that we know that AI is useful in education, but AI is also useful in healthcare. And there are many uses for AI in healthcare, starting from diagnosis to treatment plans to payment care, even administration. AI can be useful in the health sector. AI is also useful in the banking and finance sector. AI is useful for detections, for tracing patterns, for analyzing, for our economics. AI can be used to find out what is the trend, what have we discovered, how can we improve upon it. In e-commerce, AI is very, very useful. Like we said, AI can be used to detect patterns in customers, in consumers. This is what they are used to. This is the kind of thing they do. And so we can tailor our work, tailor our tools, tailor things to fit that particular kind of people. The same with manufacturing and industry. AI is useful across different sectors. AI is useful in every area as teachers, in even the transport and logistics. AI is useful. We are looking at these driverless vehicles now, and we see that AI is very useful even with these driverless vehicles because they are gathering data. They are context aware. They are aware of their environment. That's why when you are going close to a covert or about to hit a wall, there's something in the system, in the vehicle, that makes a noise to say you're about to hit an obstacle. So whatever sector we may be, AI has come to stay, and AI will be helpful in whatever sector that we are, including education. Let me just end by saying that educators and teachers should not be afraid of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has not come to take your job. Artificial intelligence has only come to help you. Has come to help you to do all that you need to do. And that brings us to the end of this first session. We will just see if there are people who have any questions, and then myself and Mr. Adegbite will be taking on questions if there are any questions.